Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to episode 125 of All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast. Diz, it's almost Christmas time. Let's crack these Cooper's Australian lagers and welcome to the show.
Oh, it's great to be here with you, Rhodey. It's good to have a beer. I'm not officially on holidays. I don't really have holidays. Got a couple of days next week, but it does feel like that time of year where you've made it, basically.
You do, and even if I am working Monday, Tuesday next week as well, but even this last week, it feels like everyone's sort of mentally in a better space, clocked off a bit.
Yeah. I feel like the first sort of 1 to 2 weeks of December, everyone sort of just goes, oh my gosh, will this year just hurry up and end?
Yeah.
Whereas you get to now and either people are knocking off or you're sort of going a bit slower, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I've got the time off between Christmas and New Year's, so I think the public holidays plus 3 days, but
happy days.
I do always get jealous of those ones and like, I'm not back till like January 20.
Yeah,
and it's like they've got like 3 or 4 weeks off.
I do get jealous of them, but then I also think most of them get forced leave at this time of year. And if you take 2.5 weeks, that limits your options for the rest of the year.
It does. All right, let's not plan everyone's holidays, Diz. Let's talk about the episode.
Okay, Rhodey, well, we do have some very good guests today. We have the team from Marine Safety, so we've got Gordon and Simon. And Who else have we got?
And we've got Lauren Douma, who has recently been elevated to the RecFish board, voted on to the RecFish board at the recent AGM, Diz.
Yep, good chat we're going to have with them later in today's episode. But let's get into oranges and lemons before we do, Rhodey. Do you want to start us off?
I will, Diz. A week off for Christmas is pretty good. I worked a lot of the days last year, but good to have a bit of a chunk of time this year.
Happy days, very good. Now, I am going to just throw to my orange here. It's very unusual that I'd be able to sneak around to golf in this time of year, but I have managed to do it today.
Yeah, well, I did notice you messaged me saying, yeah, I'll get there like just on time. I'm held up. It's a bit dicey. It was like, when you're chucking a sickie at work and you start like coughing the day before, you were just planting all the seeds that you were running late, work was busy, and you've rocked up here with the Titleist hat on and a golf kit.
I didn't say work busy at all. I just said if I get caught and I'm a little bit late, that'll be... we just might need to delay things. So anyway, but I'm going to pay for it tomorrow because I got to work 9 till 9.
Good on you, mate. Now, what's your lemon then? Is that your lemon or?
Well, might as well be my lemon, but I'll tell you what, there's the weather forecast is shocking.
Oh, mate, I had nothing on Saturday or Sunday. I was going to pick the day and go whiting fishing, and
would have liked to
have
gone on Sunday, but no, you're right. It's going to be blowing a gale, so that'll be a waste of time. What's your lemon?
No tuna yet, Diz. Often we have been able to get out like this weekend or weekend or two before Christmas and get into some tuna, have some sashimi, Christmas Eve or whatever. They're not here yet, and I feel like we've been talking about it for quite a few weeks now.
There has been a few times where we've been down at the ramp on 27th of December or 26th sometimes even. And you're right.
I reckon that first year we got them off Victor 6 or 7 years ago, we were hung over from a Christmas show on the that weekend before Christmas, I reckon.
Yeah. Good call. All right, Rhodey, let's give the listeners a bit of an update on some merch and other bits and pieces that are happening. So you've released a little video, of course, of our Salty Captain and our boat wash down process and added in there the All the Gear 15 discount code, which we love telling our listeners out there because Salty Captain is the business if you need something to wash up at the end of a day.
It is, Diz, and you're probably cutting a little bit fine to get it by Christmas, but, plenty of people, I suppose Express Post's pretty good these days.
Hopefully some people have already thought about this before today's episode and they've got it in the... Either maybe probably be a good Kris Kringle gift.
Yep, it would. And make sure you use the code AllTheGear15. That gets you 15% off their whole range online, Diz.
Good stuff. Now, we've still got a few T-shirts, caps and beanies floating around. I'm not sure you'd be wearing a beanie at this time of year, but there's still some coldish mornings that happen sometimes while you're out on the boat. So don't discount it, but certainly if you haven't got your hands on a cap, reach out to us because you need one.
And they're starting to get few and far between, Diz. So if you want one, I'd get in on it.
Yeah. What do you think we'll do next time? Legionnaires hats?
Don't mind Legionnaires hats. I'd still like to do a fishing shirt,
Okay.
I reckon.
Fair enough.
And jumpers. We've had quite a few people ask for jumpers since they've been off the menu.
Yeah, we probably need to get jumpers March, April.
Yeah, no, not bad. Actually, do you know what I bought this week? This is a bit off topic, but I bought a new boat flag, Diz.
Oh, well
from
done.
Bunnings, and I thought we should do a custom boat flag with our logo on it.
Oh, now we're talking.
The Bunnings ones look pretty good though. They're not elastic; they're tie-on ones,
Oh, I like that.
but they look like they're double stitched to me. So they look a bit better than the crappy one we've had previously.
Well, you might need to get Robsy on the dial and get her to sew another
Sew us up
stitch
one.
on.
Anyway, I've got 2 Diz. We're going to put one for safekeeping because we
stuff.
always lose one when we're away. Or
That one we've gone pretty well for a while now.
yeah, it's been hanging on by a thread,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
has
held
been.
together by a zip tie, not a proper cord.
Yeah, good stuff. Look, shout out to Christie's Meach Marine while we're on it for servicing our boat recently while we talk about that one.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it, Diz? And
Good on 'em.
What was even better, I didn't drop the boat off. I didn't pick the boat up.
You didn't do anything.
I did open the roller door for you once.
You did nothing, basically.
So it's about time you carried your weight on the boat servicing
You
department.
did nothing, and when I pulled the boat out, I almost took out half your house.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was your fault because you reversed it in on a funny angle. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked because we've got a fair bit of news to get through, Rhodey.
Rhodey and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and will give you the rundown on what you need to know.
Rhodey, talk to us about the news this week, mate. There's been an allocation review. RecFish have been posting this all over their socials and on all of the appropriate channels. We've loved hearing from them. Talk us through it.
Diz, this one popped up. It must have been like last Friday. I think an email went out from RecFish with the heading saying, I think it said urgent or something to that effect. So basically saying, guys, have a read of this ASAP. We need some feedback. So what happened is, I think it was Monday and Tuesday of this week, the allocation review committee was sitting and they were asking for people to chip in, give some feedback. We did share the post. So the 17th and 18th of December. So RecFish were under any sort of inputs. And the species that they were looking at in this review committee were the black bream, King George whiting, southern garfish, sand crab, and as we've spoken a lot about is yellowtail kingfish. So I know Asher Desiree was involved from a RecFish perspective. So it was the stage 2 process, and that has been and happened. And there was a number of things that they were looking at. We haven't got an outcome from that. We did reach out to Asher, and it's sort of too early to give any more details than that. But that's been met on. There's been lots of chat on social media. I think everyone jumps to a bad conclusion straight away, Diz. But it'll be interesting to keep our eye on what comes from that meeting.
Yeah, you good summary, mate. Really love that. And I think there's a bit more to come there, but everybody just get around it.
What are we
Just
hoping for?
Keep your ears to the ground on this one.
What are we hoping for? Kingfish recreational only?
That'd be great.
Are we dreaming?
I don't know whether it is, but
Do you think the whiting limit stays as is? That's probably what everyone's jumping to conclusions on.
everybody is jumping on the whiting's going to reduce. What do you think the number would be if they do?
It's 10. You couldn't go much lower than 8. I feel like it's going to be an even number. I don't think it's going to be 7 or 9. I think if they drop it, it's going to be 8. 6 teams seems too low.
Yeah.
Even 8, like, if you're going to drive like over to Yorks or down to the Flurio, it's starting to make it, every whiting sort of costing you a bit more money, isn't it? If you're fishing on your own or whatever else.
Yeah. Be interesting because you sort of you ask yourself the question, in their view, would 8 be enough?
Yeah, who knows? It'll be very interesting, Diz. Fingers crossed it stays the same, Diz.
Very good. Brody, what else we got in the news, mate?
Diz, this is a nice little event that we have coming up. I know Levi Nash has been a keen contributor to this one. So SAFTAG are running a fish tagging workshop. It's going to be supported by RecFish SA,
Brilliant.
Pursa and Hallprint. So that's going to be held at Sardi at West Beach on the 1st of February, which is a Saturday, 10 a.m. till 12 a.m. 30 spots available. You need to either contact programs at recfishsa.org.au for any queries, or jump on an Eventbrite link, which is on their Facebook page, to register because it is limited to 30 spots. Nice. And that'd be a good one because a lot of people, I think, like the idea of tagging fish but probably aren't that comfortable or confident.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I wonder what they use as sort of dummy.
I reckon I read on
devices.
Facebook that they were going to have a number of fish species available on the day. So they must, like...
Not actual fish. Or you mean actual fish?
Actual fish, I think.
Oh, right. Okay.
I assume dead ones, but,
Well, yeah, I know they're going to be dead, but I didn't know whether they'd use actual fish or whether that, sometimes when you're practicing injecting or something,
I don't
you have
know.
like a little,
Yeah.
it's like a compound and you can.
I feel like I read that somewhere. I'm not totally sure, Diz. But, yeah,
Well, Levi, if you're listening, send us a voice memo, my friend.
Do you think they need any expert on tagging squid?
Oh, gee whiz.
I think we are some of the only humans to have tagged a squid, Diz.
Well played.
I'm not sure that's ever been like recalled.
I want to know if there's a recapture.
Anyway, we did tag some squid one night.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Rody, what else we got in the news? This one's in your wheelhouse, mate. The Marion Bay boat ramp. Give the listeners an update. You were there very recently. You took a video. It did well on the socials. Goodness knows why it wasn't great.
It went viral, that one, didn't it? Anyway, it's getting there, Diz. There's lots of big pylons up. They've put down the sort of concrete. They put that concrete down and put the grid. What do you call that?
They've sort of scored the
concrete.
it
on a diagonal to allow for some grip. The car park's done. There's still some of those big pipes sitting around.
Was there a lot of
diggers.
sand and everything over
Yeah,
that
there
concrete,
was.
though?
So they've put the concrete down and it's well and truly covered up by sand. I think there's going to be like a rock wall part of the way on both sides. And then we were looking at the design actually the other day that was released months and months ago. And do you remember Emu Bay, how it's got those boards up on one side? So it looks like it's going to be like that to take away some of the velocity of the waves, I suppose. Would you say, Diz?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can use whatever your word you want, mate. But
So it looks like
let's make sure this isn't like Emu Bay because
that hasn't
there's some
gone well,
strong critics out there about that boat ramp. But I'm sure that it won't be. I can't wait to see it done. I think there'll probably be some happy people when it's done.
I think a lot of people will be happy they no longer have to do that dodgy little beach launch.
Yeah, I mean, I never found it that bad.
I know, but a lot of people complain about it.
I know
And
a lot of people, and I think if you had a big
fiberglass boat,
yeah.
it would be a harder thing than our smaller aluminium boat.
Yeah, good call.
I think it was supposed to be pretty much done by now from memory, so it's certainly not done. But
Right.
well,
So
I
they're
think
behind.
I'm going to believe that.
Okay, right. Yeah, I suppose it makes sense that they would have been trying to get it ready for the summer holidays. So maybe weather slowed them down. Who knows? We'll keep our eye on that one. Hopefully next time we can be showing the listeners a bit of use of it.
Yep, next time we're down there, hopefully it's open. Tiz, I've just got a really quick one here. Department for Primary Industries and Regions are pushing pretty hard for people to be really careful around their abalone this year. So remember, I think that was start of the year or last summer. So the abalone viral ganglioneuritis was detected at Port Macdonald and shut down diving and fishing for abalone and things for quite a while. So they're pushing really hard to do a really good job keeping your eye out for any crook-looking abalone and report them. If there's anything weird going on or you think something doesn't look quite right, make sure you report that to PIRSA. And the other thing is make sure you are doing a really good job at cleaning your boat and all your diving gear. So if something like that does happen, you're not spreading it across the state. It also says discouraging the use of abalone for bait or burley because that would obviously be another way it could be spread.
Okay, there you go. Good stuff. Good little update there, Brody. Love that. The Kingston Surf Fishing Comp is, it's coming up, isn't it, Brody?
Yeah, it's the Saturday the 18th until Sunday the 19th of January. There's up to $25,000 of prizes for mulloway, shark, and other scale fish, and also carpet shark steers, which is quite specific.
They've always got a big, good prize. They've had tinnies.
Yeah,
and
they've
stuff
got a
in
tinny
the past,
again this
haven't
year.
they?
I don't have it in front of me, but I think it had a 20 horsepower. It was like a 3.8 or 3.9 metre flat bottom looking tinny. I think the local Lions Club donates that, Diz.
Love that.
And that'll be the 46th annual event, a prize pool up to $25,000.
Looks like there's also a lucky rod tag prize of $1,000 cash.
Not bad, mate. I would like to do that one day.
Yeah, good call. I would like to as well. Let's maybe put it in the bucket list type of space.
I suppose we assume Lucy won't have the baby early, and we'll go this year maybe.
Yep, let's do it. Put it in the book, mate. Love that. All right, Rody, what else have we got before we get our guests on the line. We've got a, what's this? We're in a tuna comp.
Yeah, I thought we should share this one, Diz, the 15th and 16th of February 2025. Obviously, the Victor Tuna Comp is not going ahead this year, so this will be the only local comp. So the John Johnson Memorial Tuna Slam, it's run by the Game Fishing Club of South Australia. Put that one in your diary, the 15th and 16th of February. Lots of great sponsors have got on board, Diz, and get in contact with the Game Fishing Club of South Australia if you want to get involved.
Good stuff, Roddy. Love that. Juicy little news segment, mate. Well done, as always. Let's just wrap that up right there and move on to Tackle Item of the Week.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
This is a good segment, Rhodey, for Tackle Item of the Week. Nice little item that I'm sure a lot of people could get a bit of use out of as we come into this summer holidays. Tell the listeners what you've got in your hands.
Dizzy, so we went over to York, stayed down at Marion Bay. We actually stayed at that Hillocks Drive. I don't know whether I filled you in exactly. You know, it's camping in there, like bush camping. They've got a couple of ocean pods, and we stayed in one of them for a couple of nights last weekend, which was nice, Diz.
Nice.
And I was banned on bringing the boat.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But that didn't exclude land-based fishing. So we got into a little bit of land-based stuff.
You got Lucy on a technicality there, did you?
Yeah, I did. And we also did a boat ramp tour, so that sort of made up for it. But tackle item of the week, Diz, we took a little travel rod, made it really easy, tucked it in the back seat of the car. It was the Shimano Revolution Travel 703 spin length, 7 foot long, 3 to 5 kilo line weight. It's a 3-piece rod. It packs up really nice and small, Diz. We've used it a little bit for whiting fishing.
Yep.
Good for squidding.
Yep.
And on the weekend, I've flicked out a few little metal slugs and caught some small tommies, you'd have to say.
Small. Yeah, they looked small.
They were small. Caught 3 or 4 of them, though. Bit of fun. Yeah. And also flicked out one of those Squidgies Slick Rig, I think they're called. Yeah. Those, those squidgies, the soft plastics that come all ready to go. They've got the hook inside them. You don't have to mess around. I know when you used to try and put the soft plastic head through the plastic, you'd do a bad job, Diz.
Oh, that's a bit hard.
I remember that. So the Slick Rig gets rid of that. So I was flicking one of them around, Diz, down at Dolphin Bay, which might I say is a beautiful bit of beach.
Yeah.
What did I do? Hooked a flathead. What did I do?
You dropped it.
I dropped it at my feet, mate.
Oh, you pelican. Was it a good size?
Keeper? Yeah, it was easily a keeper. Wasn't like ginormous, but it might have gone 35.
Jeez, you could have whacked that on the pan for dinner.
Oh, it would have been good. And it was like right at my feet, and I did that dive into the water to try and stop it, but I wouldn't stop it.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
So I made a real fool of myself, Diz.
Couldn't hook another one, obviously.
Nah, and I was just pulling it up the bank. I was calling Lucy over to come and have a look. Bask in my glory.
Yeah, you would have been getting carried away.
I got carried away.
I can just see it now. I can just see it.
But Diz, the Revolution travel rod is a great piece of kit for all those land-based or boat anglers, but anyone who's a bit tight on space, Diz.
Good stuff, Roddy. Nice little tackle item of the week. We love that. Get yourself down to your local tackle store. They'll have that. If they don't, they'll be able to get it in for you. That's for sure. That's
it now, Diz. Now we've got 2 big guests. We're going to start with Lauren Douma. So she's been freshly put onto the board at RecFish. Let's get her on the phone.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
Righto, Rhodey, we are very lucky to be joined by one of the new board members of RecFish. Of course, it is Lauren Douma. Thank you very much for joining us on the show, Lauren.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Beautiful, Lauren. So we'll start off by saying congratulations for getting on the board of RecFish. Well done on that.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. I'm pretty excited about it.
Beautiful. So you got voted on recently, and we will touch on all of that in just a few moments. But as always, we're going to start off with our 5 questions, and we're going to start off by you telling us about your best fish.
My best fish was when I was out fishing with my grandpa just off Port Macquarie in New South Wales. He is not much of a tuna fisherman or anything, so I brought all my own gear, did all my own research, and I've never been tuna fishing before that. So I got on YouTube, did as much research as I could, gave it a crack, and within 5 minutes of trawling, I had a tuna on. And my mum was videoing, forgot to press record, so missed the whole thing.
No.
But it was pretty exciting. I pulled in a skipjack tuna that was about 70 centimeters and killed it myself, got to fillet it myself and cooked it up for dinner the next day. It was really exciting. So
very good. Good eating, are they, skipjack tuna? Yeah,
they're not bad. Nothing like bluefin or anything, but it was, I made a teriyaki tuna with rice and it was really, really good.
Love that. That's awesome. Now, Lauren, our next question is your favourite thing about fishing.
My favourite thing about fishing is just the thrill of it. I've found myself in the last few years, it's a bit of a mild addiction. Any moment that I get, I head over to the beach. And just spending time on the ocean with friends and being able to share something that I really love with them.
Beautiful. Very good. That's a common thread that we get in that particular question, Lauren. Now, tell us about your first fishing memory, or how'd you get into it?
So my grandfather is a commercial fisherman, so it's always been a part of my life. And a lot of the focus, all the boys used to go fishing when we were kids, but I'd always join in. So my first memory of fishing was going whiting fishing in Victoria. And I'd always beat the boys. So that sort of got me a little bit competitive and excited and drawn me into it. So, that's my favourite and one of my first fishing memories.
Beautiful. Nothing like a few competitive juices to get you into it. What sort of commercial fishing did your family do?
In snapper fishing off Darwin and the Northern Territory mainly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very good. All right, Lauren, what's your favourite sort of fishing and why?
Definitely squid fishing. That's what really got me into it in the last 3 years. I had never been squid fishing before I moved to SA. And when I did and a friend took me out, it's so much fun. And it's just one of my favourite things to cook as well. So having a nice meal at the end of a fish is really good.
Yeah, good shout. What's your favourite way to cook it?
I usually do salt and pepper squid.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
That's a classic, isn't it?
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Beautiful. Now, Lauren, funny fishing story, or tell us about the one that got away.
The funniest fishing memory was definitely I was down on the beach with a friend just down at Maslin, and we'd had a few wines and we'd given it a go at catching beach worms, but actually had no luck at all. We'd seen heaps, but just I don't have the knack for it. So we're giving that a go, and a few wines in, we actually forgot we even had a line in the water. And my friend went to pack everything up and she pulled in a 35 centimetre brim. So
nothing wrong with that.
I couldn't believe it. We had absolutely no gear with us and we just had no idea how it even happened. We weren't even trying. So it was really good fun, but it was pretty funny. Just, had no idea that there was anything on the end of the line.
Yeah, beautiful. Nothing at all wrong with catching a brim without trying.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now Lauren, thanks for answering those 5 questions for us. Let's get on to the sort of main thing we wanted to talk about, I suppose, and that's the RecFish board. So you've recently been voted onto the board at the AGM, which was held in November, I think it was. Can you tell us a bit about, I suppose, your motivation to get on the board and how that whole process went about nominating and being voted on and some of those sort of things?
Yeah, so my main motivation to get on the board was to have a bit of female representation. I know we already had one female board member as well, so that was really good, but I was strongly encouraged to apply and see how I go. And personally, I'm a disability support worker as my main job, so that was another encouraging factor to have a bit of representation for people with disabilities and getting them involved with fishing as well. Just because of the community that it builds and getting people out and about is something that I'm really passionate about. I've got a few clients that I take fishing and I've seen the benefits that it's had for them, just being able to be out of the house in the afternoons and being out on the jetty and then bringing it home with the excitement of a catch is really, really good and really positive for them.
Yeah, epic. Love that. And that's a brilliant story and we can't wait to see your commitment, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are going to be really benefiting from your involvement on the board to help support some of those pathways. We've got a good friend of our show, Dan, who does a similar thing with some of the people that he works with. So I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and certainly on behalf of all of us RecFishers, thank you for putting your hand up and getting on the board. It's a real credit to you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I think coming from a background of, I've taught myself how to fish, and I don't have all the knowledge in the world, but I'm getting there and I'll keep learning. That having someone that's just a bit of a novice on the board that, I'm not intimidated by the demographic that is our fishing in recreational fishing, being able to get new people involved, making it available for everyone it's really, really good.
Beautiful. Now, you mentioned you're sort of pretty fresh into fishing and you've taught yourself, and you talked about watching some YouTube videos. Can you tell us all about that? Like, how long have you actually been fishing for, and sort of, tell us how you've become passionate about it.
Yeah, so 3 years ago, I got to SA. My partner and I had been living in our bus for 4 years and traveling Australia. So we'd done a little bit of fishing along the way, but not really much, just because we didn't have any space to carry any gear with us. We had everything that we owned in that bus. So yeah, we got to South Australia and made a bit of community here with some friends. And we lived right by the beach. So I spent a lot of time on the beach. And yeah, like I said, one of my friends took me squid fishing, which got me really excited. So I was right at that for a good, probably about 12 months. And then I decided, no, the next step is I want to buy my own boat, because all of my friends were inviting my partner out to go fishing with them, yet they didn't realize that he had absolutely no interest in fishing. So I was like, you know what, if the boys are not going to invite me out on their boat, I'm going to go and get my own. So I bought just a 3.4 meter tinny, something that I could tow with my car, and beach launch. So I went and got my license, learned as much as I could online, really clued up on safety and reading the conditions, just because it was such a small boat. And yeah, that taught me heaps. That really got me into the next level of my interest in fishing. Just actually being on the water compared to being on the beach is something else. I really, really love it. So yeah, that I was bringing home a catch maybe once a week, and if not more, and sharing it with friends, trading it for fruits and vegetables from their garden. And I just always had a freezer full of fish, which is great because I really love the health benefits that come from eating fish as well. So yeah, that's sort of how I got into it. And yeah, now these days I fish a couple of times a week, always going for Australian salmon off the beach. And yeah, got a few target species that I want to aim for over the next few months.
What's on the agenda? What are the targets over summer?
I've got a mulloway on my list. I really, really want to get a mulloway. So that's probably a big, ambitious goal of mine, but I'll get there.
Yeah, of course you will. Put in the time, you'll get there for sure. I'm confident of that. Now, without you sort of sharing your most successful GPS marks, where do you like to launch the boat and get out and get yourself a feed of calamari?
Usually just off Silver Sands, just because it's the easiest spot to beach launch for me. I can launch my boat on my own and bring it in on my own. So that's the best bit about me. It's just got a little bit of a protected area there that you can launch, and yeah, it's nice and easy.
Very good. Well, that's exciting, and good on you from going for 3 years from having not really much idea and buying a boat, and now you're straight on the RecFish board. So you haven't messed around.
Yeah, no, anyone can do it though. Really, it's just being confident in yourself is one of the things that I've had to tackle with, and going for it.
Yeah, very good. And what about with your work? Have you had any notable catches with any clients? Anything sort of unexpected, or any prize hauls?
No big prize hauls, but we've just definitely got a few squid and a few tommies off the jetty. So a lot of my clients that I take out, most of them are non-verbal. So when they're excited and they come home and, they can write down that they had a great time, I know that they've enjoyed themselves, and just a few squid is enough to motivate us to keep going.
Yeah, epic. I bet they sort of they can't wait for the next trip once you get out there and get a feed and get that buzz of fishing. I'm sure they're always looking forward to the next trip.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Lauren, tell us what you've noticed about RecFish SA so far. We've had a lot of people on from RecFish over the journey, all I would say very similar to you, with a real passion for fishing, enthusiasm for it, and trying to bring people together. What have you noticed since you've been on? I appreciate it's very short amount of time, but what have you noticed so far?
The thing that I've noticed the most would be that there's actually just such a broad range of people within the community of RecFish. Like, there's a lot of people with a real science background. There's a lot of people that just have a lot of hands-on knowledge with fishing. So it's a really welcoming group of people, and I think they're really going to make some changes that'll really help a lot of people. So yeah, I feel really confident in them, and yeah, they've shown me nothing but being such a welcoming group of people. So yeah, I think it'll be a really good couple of years ahead for them.
Beautiful. And I know you're very fresh to RecFish, only having just got on the board, but have you got any, plans or ambitions or things that you sort of want to achieve as a part of RecFish or push for?
I really would like to attend a lot more of the women's and children's fishing programs. They're something that I would really like to focus on in the next few years, and just see how they're running, see if there's any ways that we can better encourage the community to get involved. And yeah, getting the people that I think are just curious about it and getting them to actually come along and experience that. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you'd be the perfect teacher, having taught yourself only recently. You'll be fresh in the game and you'll be able to pass on all your wisdom.
Yep, definitely.
Awesome, Lauren. Well, we are really looking forward to seeing all that you contribute to RecFish. We have been very impressed with how, like I said earlier, they've pulled together the RecFish community, and I think I definitely agree with you. There's an exciting few years ahead, whether it be, I'm sure there'll be a lot of advocacy around the snapper ban ending and all of the work that they're doing with the women's and kids programs. Like you said, there's a lot on the horizon, no doubt, that we aren't even aware of. So we look forward to seeing it all play out.
Yeah, myself too.
Very good. All right, thanks for joining us, Lauren. Thanks for a really informative chat, and well done again for getting on the RecFish board.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It was lovely to chat to you.
Dizzy, that was good to hear from one of the new members of the RecFish board, wasn't it?
It was great, Rhodey, and I think there's going to be a lot of value add there, if you will, to the board and what that brings to RecFish. So we can't wait to see what Lauren gets up to in that space, Rhodey. It'll be good.
Certainly adds a bit more diversity. I know they already had Goody as a female representative, but another female, someone who's a bit newer to fishing. I think a lot of those people on the board have been fishing since they were 5 years old and maybe don't know what it's like to be like her and learn how to start fishing from scratch.
Yep, good
and
call.
I think she'll be a good contributor to those clinics and, the knot tying sessions and all that sort of stuff, having only just picked up fishing recently.
Good call, Rhodey. Love that from you. All right, mate. Now let's get our next guest on the line. This is a double episode where, of course, we're going to be joined by marine safety gurus in Gordon and Simon. Let's get them on the phone. Well, Rhodey, we are very lucky to be joined by two absolute experts in the marine safety field, and we're talking all things boat safety and getting your boat ready to make sure you can have a great day out on the water. And we're joined by Gordon and Simon. Thank you both very much for joining. How are you guys?
Thank you. We're very well, thank you. Yeah, very well, thanks.
Very
Thanks
good. Now, I'm sure it's coming into a busy time of year for you guys at marine safety, but just a quick one. Do you guys fish yourselves? You're going to get a bit of boating and fishing in over summer?
I try to. I've got too many kids playing sport, but I try and get out there. And I, in a previous life, actually was a commercial fisherman, so been around and about for a while.
How good is that?
Yeah,
so you know where all the good spots are.
I do, actually. I've got a computer full of them.
Very good.
And, yeah, I get out seasonally, not as much as I'd like to with young kids.
Fair enough. We've both got young kids, so we're in the same boat there. So all good. Now let's get into some more of the marine safety stuff, which is what we're here to talk about. So there's a new rule that comes into play from January 1, 2025. So all life jackets must meet the Australian standards 4758. We've read that on the email that you guys nicely send out to all our inboxes. Can you tell us what that means for the average angler out on the water?
Yeah, that's right. So the Australian standard, it is displayed clearly on your life jacket. So it's really important that all life jackets from January the 1st meet Australian standard 4758. So the standards come about. It's now got increased buoyancy, it incorporates new technology, and it also has increased reflectivity. So all your life jackets out there from January the 1st need to make sure they comply with the new standard. Marine safety officers have been spreading the word over the last couple of years, and I think our data suggests that about 90 or 95% of boaters now in our state waters are compliant to the new standard, which is great.
And just to add to that, this one's been around for a long time. So if someone's bought a jacket in the last 10 years at least, it'll be compliant.
Perfect. I was just going to ask that because I know we updated ours a couple of years ago, and I'm hoping they're going to be in date, but we'll get them out and we'll have a look on the back and make sure they tick the box.
Beautiful.
And it ties in very nicely, Rhodey, with one of our recent SA Angler articles about making sure you do a boat safety check. We sort of put on there that periodically, I wonder whether you guys would suggest, clearly you need to make sure that you've got all the appropriate safety equipment before you go down in the water every time, but we did cover off a little bit on there, didn't we, Rhodey, about making sure you're checking those canisters that go into the inflatable life jackets and other bits and pieces. So it's great that we're getting up to that new standard, and pleasing to see that that's heading in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, and just encourage a good mention there with the canister. Just every time you use it, before you put it on, just check for cuts, wear and tear. The canister, make yourself familiar with it. Some people are scared to unzip it or take the Velcro off. Just have a look at it and make sure it's in good nick and the canister is secured in there.
Yeah, very good. Now, we were talking then about sort of doing a bit of an annual or coming into summer. It's probably a good time to check all your safety gear, do a bit of a once-over audit, make sure all your gear's in date and all that sort of stuff. Is that what you guys would recommend?
Definitely. When you dust off your boat, weather's out there, just go through your safety equipment, check expiry dates on anything that does have expiry dates, check your fork extinguisher is still in charge. It varies on what equipment you need to where you operate. So head online to Marine Safety SA. We've got a great safety equipment checker tool. You punch in where you go and what you do and what boat you've got, and it will tell you exactly what you need.
Very good. And that covers all your life jackets and your requirements around kids and fishing at night and all that sort of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. You just need to key in where you're boating, what boat you're going in, and the radio buttons will display all the kit that you need. One thing, just on safety equipment, the marine safety officers, we've been travelling regionally, and we have noticed that expiry dates on flares. So it's really important to make sure if you're travelling out to those regional areas that your flares are in date. So flares, they expire every 3 years. So again, just really important. Make sure before you head out on the water, especially if you're heading away over the Christmas break, that your flares are in date, because we tend to find that the retailers out in the country locations can run out pretty quick when the boys and girls are in town and on water.
Yes, fair enough. Now, it's an interesting topic there, the flares. We've got a couple of old ones sitting in the cupboard around near the boat. What should we do with them? Where do we get rid of them?
Yeah, don't take them to your local soccer match. We don't. I guess, fortunately for us, they are inexplosive, so safe work govern flares. So it's really important for your listeners to head to the Safe Work website, and you'll normally be directed to your local police station, whether or not they can dispose of flares. So it's all governed under SAPOL as an explosive.
And just be mindful, because I know a lot of old timers like to hold on to their old flares as another backup, a spares, so to speak. But as Simon was saying, that when they're expired, they're technically classed as an explosive. So we don't want anyone to be coming to any grief out there with flares.
Brilliant, guys.
Unintentionally blowing up.
Brilliant, guys. Thank you very much for that. Now, one thing we did want to ask you today is what sort of tips can you give our listeners out there? I suppose, like you mentioned earlier, they might be going away and doing a trip over this Christmas break, and maybe they're even going to areas where they may not have fished before or used their boat. What sort of guidance do you think those types of people will need to make sure that they're ready to have a nice, safe, enjoyable day out on the water?
Yeah, look, it's, before you head out, just make sure you tell someone where you intend to go and when you intend to come back. That's very important because so people do know where you're going. One of the most important ones, obviously, is checking the weather. If you're unsure of the area, locals are a good source. But a chart's always good. People, old school chart, that tells you where the reefs and rocks are if you're going out wide or in areas that you haven't been around Lincoln or the islands out there. That's regionally, just make sure you know what you're doing. If you don't know, hop on our website, have a look. Most of the information is on there. If not, you can pop us an email and we can help you out.
Very good. Now, when you guys are out visiting people out boating over summer or all year round, is there any particular things that most people miss out on or forget, or what are sort of the common mistakes people do make?
Yeah, so the main mistakes, I guess, we find are expired flares, as I mentioned before, and some life jacket misuse. So the life jacket laws, they changed a while ago. The uptake has been pretty good, but there's still some people out there that aren't complying to wearing your life jacket. And a big one that we've seen recently is safe speed on the water. So we really want to push vessels and swimmers in the water, just vessel operators, to maintain a safe speed. And just remember your 4 knot speed limit. So 4 knots, 50 metres when you're near another swimmer in the water, and then 4 knots, 30 metres around a powered vessel. Those 3 ones: life jacket, flares, and safe speed in the water.
Very good. That's pretty straightforward, isn't it, Diz? We should be able to abide by those ones.
Mate, we always do. Of course we can. And I think those rules are obviously there very importantly, but it's probably a good time to mention those because I'm sure you guys see and know this, but the water just gets so busy this time of year. Everyone's having a bit of a break. The weather's good. They're getting out there, and safety is absolutely paramount to make sure you not only get home safe, but have a good, fun day on the water.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly. We want everyone to come home. That's why we come to work, is to make sure everyone goes out there safely and comes home. And just with the speeding, the congestion, just if you want to muck around, say if you on your jet ski or something and want to have fun, we're not stopping you having fun, but just go away from the beach, go away from other people in the river, and do your circle work and your jumps and stuff. Stay away from infrastructure and other people.
Very good. Now,
we've branded our education videos for jet skis this year as Cool Your Jets, and that's what we're asking all jet ski riders to do this year, especially on the busy metropolitan coast.
Yeah, they're certainly dangerous, those jet skis, aren't they?
They can be.
Yeah. Now, just one more before we leave you to it. Is this, so obviously you pull people up and do a safety check all year round. Is this a bit of a hot spot? Lots of people getting their boats out for the first time in, 10 or 12 months since last summer. Do you find a lot of people have sort of let things slip this time of year?
Yeah, this time of year when you dust it off, or you go to your shack up on Yorks or the West Coast, it's been sitting there a long time. Just go through it, check everything. If you don't know boats, take it to your service agent or whoever you use. And just before we go to, I just want to plug, hopefully very soon we'll be releasing the South Australian boating strategy. That will give people a good chance. We've already had 2 rounds of feedback, but we want to, implement some changes to make the waterways even safer. So look out for this space, and hopefully we'll have something out soon, because it's the first time we've done this, and we just want to make sure the community out there is safe.
Fantastic, guys. That's really good to hear. I can imagine that it's a big challenge for you guys to make sure you have enough marine safety officers out there doing their checks, educating the public, making sure they know the types of things that are paramount while they're out on the water. So anything that you can do to be able to get that message further afield and be able to make it easier for those new time people or people that haven't done it for a while, that they can understand the rules and make sure they do have a safe day on the water, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and all that information, Matt, that's all available on the Marine Safety SA. So again, check your life jacket, the checker tool's there, your safety equipment tool is there to check. And we've also got a reporting tool on the website. And that's really important for us. We use that obviously to develop compliance and education strategy. So it's really important and a really helpful tool that the public can use to report in any poor behaviour out on the water, and also hazards to navigational safety. And we follow all of that up. And we've just released an online store this year as well. So there's a lot of promotional and education material that's available to the public, and you can go on there and order some safety stickers, put them on your boat, and you can't really go wrong.
Beautiful. Very good. Well, thanks a lot, Simon and Gordon, for coming on and spreading the message. It sounds like any questions, probably head to Marine Safety on the website and find out. But thanks a lot for coming on, guys.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Brilliant, guys. Have a good Christmas. Thanks for joining.
Cheers. Merry Christmas.
Dizzy, that was very informative. Big shout out to Gordon and Simon for coming on the show, sharing all their wisdom about what to do and what not to do when you're getting your boat out over summer.
Good stuff, Rhodey, and certainly a takeaway for me was don't let yourself have a few too many beers and think it's okay to crack a flare open on Christmas Day. Just don't do it.
Don't take them to your local soccer game. That was a good comment, wasn't it?
It was a great comment. We love that. All right, Rhodey, this just about wraps up today's episode. Let's get ourselves into the fishing report.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Righto, Rhodey, tell us where they're biting down near Hillocks Drive.
Dizzy, I've already sort of filled you in on that where I didn't catch many fish. Tommy's at Butler's Beach.
Okay.
That's supposed to be a good salmon fishing beach, Diz, so maybe we should give that a whirl one day.
Browns?
Nah, Butler's.
Okay.
So it's between Marion Bay and Foul Bay. It's on that road like halfway along.
Yeah.
And that Hillocks Drive is like a private camping thing, and one of the beaches in there that you can access.
Browns is in the national park, also meant to be a good salmon beach.
Yeah. Browns is the famous one.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the national park there, past Dolphin Bay.
Yeah.
Dolphin Bay, home of Flathead. Tough to hook though. Easy to hook, tough to land.
You drop at your feet. Ridiculous.
And I've actually fished there twice, and I've dropped a flathead both times, if you want the true answer.
You absolute pelican. Jeez, that would have been heart-wrenching.
It was, Diz. It was.
What else you got, Rhodey? Tuna. We're waiting, aren't we?
There are a few photos from KI, Diz, smaller little jelly bean size. So that's not far away from here, from the
Shane
local
got
waters.
some on the Eyre Peninsula?
Yeah, did he?
Yeah, saw it in the Eyre Peninsula, saw it in the Tackle World report, mate.
Very good. Well, he's been talking that up for a couple of weeks, so they're over that way. So that sounds like the place to be tuna fishing if you can.
Yep, good stuff.
Shouldn't be far away from the metro waters, though.
A few jelly beans floating around off north coast of the KI, we're hearing.
And a few reports from Victor. People have been out looking. I've heard reports of lots of bait, dolphins, birds, pretty much everything but the tuna. So I think they can't be far away.
Can't be far away. Good stuff. We love that, Rhodey. Okay, what else? Tell us what's happening on the cray diving front.
Yes, Diz. Jack went out last weekend over the York Peninsula. Not exactly sure where they went. They got their bag. Peter went along as Decky, actually. I don't know if I told you that.
Did you?
Peter
Really?
did.
Right.
Yeah, he went along as Decky. Just didn't have
With
anything on
Jack.
for the day, so he went over to Yorks for a day trip to sit in the boat and watch them pull crayfish in.
Jeez.
Man, the hooker he was doing, he luckily didn't put the exhaust to the intake and gas him.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
good
not
of
sure
him.
I'd trust him as Decky. No offense, Pete.
Anyway, he
I
was
probably
decking
had a
for the
fair
day.
bit of work to do in my backyard if he wanted to make himself a bit more useful than sitting around on a boat watching people cray dive all day. Are you planning on getting out for a dive this summer with Jack, you reckon, mate?
Certainly like to, mate. As I said, I've got a bit of time between Christmas and New Year. I would love to get over to Yorks and do a bit of fishing and or diving. So we'll see what the weather does.
Very good. All right, Rody. Well, I don't think we've got too much. We haven't been doing a lot of fishing, but certainly what I can guarantee you listeners out there is we'll have a bit more of a juicy report coming to you next episode.
We do, Diz. You might even take the camera over and take some photos of your fishing for once.
Yeah, I know. It'd be a rare sight, me out fishing. It's been a while. Can't wait for that. Listeners, you know where to find us. Get them on your socials, your Facebooks, your Instas, your Spotifys, your Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere where you get your podcasts, and jump on the socials, send us a voice memo. We love that. Otherwise, we'll speak to you next time.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.